Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will start our new topic, that is the fourth unit, life cycles from the grade 6. Today is the first lecture about this. All of you have often seen the seed of different plants and fruits and vegetables. A seed looks very small and dry, but what happens when you sow it in the soil? It grows into a seedling. Seedling is a small plant that grows from the seed, and after some year it can become a big tree. So a plant grows best when it will get the right amount of the light, water, air, warmth and minerals. All these are the need of the plant to grow. In the picture on the right side you can see it is the trunk of a plant, and this trunk has the growth ring like structure in this, and these rings start from the middle and they move towards the outsides. So a trunk of the tree become thicker because it grows from the middle towards the outside, and these rings of in the wood you can see they build up each year, so making the trunk thicker. So one ring of new wood build up each year, making the trunk thicker. And on this information, can you find the age of the tree? Yeah, you can find out, because each year a new ring is formed in the trunk, and number of the rings indicate the age of the plant. As plants need the water, minerals, air and warmth to grow, in the same way young ones of the animals also need the food, water, air, warmth, protection as well to grow. So in the animal world you can see the many young animals are different from their parents. As in the picture you can see that caterpillar, it grows in as it grows it become a beetle. In the same way when these ducklings grow they become a swan. So the animal the young ones of the animals different from their parents, and with the passage of time they take the shape of their just like their parents. So you can see that life is just a cycle. In this cycle what happen, young organisms change as they grow in the size, and then they produce their next generation by the process of reproduction. As growth is the characteristics of the living thing, in the same way reproduction is the process of the living things produce offsprings for the continuation of their generation. They increase their number by the process of reproduction. And reproduction are of the two types. One is the asexual reproduction and second is sexual reproduction. Now what are the main differences between these two types of the reproduction? In case of the asexual reproduction, new organisms are formed from the vegetative part of the organisms. Vegetative part of organisms is the you can say it is the any part of the body which is capable of the multiplication. So new organisms are formed from the vegetative part of the organism. But what happen in the sexual reproduction? New organisms are formed by the fertilization of the gametes. Male and female gametes combine together, then a new life start. In case of the asexual reproduction, organisms or identical organisms are produced. Identical organisms means the organisms they are exactly just like the parents. And but in case of the sexual reproduction, different varieties are produced, or you can say in the organism that are produced as a result of the sexual reproduction, they will be little bit different from their parents. They have the variations in them. In case of asexual reproduction, identical organisms are produced, and these identical organisms are called the clones. So vegetative propagation It produces the natural clones in the form of the crops, means a large number of the identical organisms are produced, which are called the clones. And they are produced quickly, easily, and at a low cost, and they also need the less water. Now, what is the vegetative propagation? You can see that the vegetative propagation is a asexual reproduction in the plant, in which gametes are not involved. It starts from any vegetative part of the organism. And in the vegetative propagation, new plants can be grown without seed. First example is of the tuber. You can see in the picture a small outgrowth is produced in the organism body of the organism. So tuber, it is a swollen underground stem, and each bud can be cut and planted to grow into the new plant. You can see the example of this potato. It has the small outgrowth on the body. You can see it is the bud. This process is also called the budding. So the each bud or each outgrowth, it can grow into a new plant. Second is the runner, and runners are the plant stems that grow along the ground. New strawberry plants grow from the buds along the runners of the parent strawberry plant. You can see the picture. It is the strawberry plant. A runner, a small stem is growing here. You can see in the picture the runner is growing from the parent plant, and this runner can transform into the new tiny plant. You can say it is the daughter plant that is produced from this runner. Further, this daughter plant has the runner, and this runner can transform into the also new plant. So runners are the plant stems that grow along the ground. A bulb is another type of the underground stem, and it has the thick fleshy leaves that can store the food, just like in the onion. You can see different layers of onion can be separated when you cut down the onion from the center. So these have the buds that can grow into the new plant. Another type of the vegetative propagation, that is the cutting. And what you do in the cutting, a stem cutting from a rose plant will grow roots and form a new plant. Just you have to cut the stem of the plant just like the stem of the rose, and when you will put this stem in the ground, what happen, it will start to grow the leaves over there, and it will transform into a complete plant. So roots and leaf cuttings can also be grown in this process. Next is the plantlets, and plantlets, the you can observe it in the succulent plants which need very small amount of the water. So succulent plant like the bryophyllum, they have the buds at the margins of their leaves. You can see in the picture here outgrowths are present on the margins of these leaves, on the tips of the leaves, and each bud it can develop into a new plant. Here the bryophyllum example is given here. The bryophyllum leaves, they are applied on the skin to treat the wounds, boils, and insect bites. Wow, today's lecture is ended. Now it's your playtime. Allah Hafiz.